Jennifer Villalba from 32 Degrees. She's the director of CX. Jennifer, I never want to keep you waiting. Please tell everybody a little bit about yourself and jump right on in.
Yes, let me jump right into it because I know we're limited. But yeah, no, I just wanted to talk a little bit about prepping for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. I know that's a huge topic for everyone, essentially in e-commerce. And I feel like I have always been very scared of Q4 and Black Friday or Cyber Monday. I feel like this year was the first year where I'm like, I'm ready. I know what I'm doing. Obviously, we always have surprises, but I think the most important thing, like, I feel like coming into Black Friday, you're scared, you're nervous. It's almost like everyone's like flight or fight mode. But what I really wanted to do this year was I started planning and prepping super early. I think I started prepping, I think July is when I started having conversations with my BPO, just forecast planning, headcount planning, wanting to make sure, like this is like obviously like what we're expecting year to year. And this is how many agents we want, temp agents for Q4, which helps so much to like just communicate that to my BPO and be like, hey, like these are our expectations. This is what we're looking for. This is the timeline, which was incredible versus I feel like last year I was a little bit more rushed and I didn't have time to kind of plan out the other things that I really wanted to work on. Whereas like this year, I gave myself time. So, which is great. So what we also did was that we essentially started really creating like a playbook for this Black Friday or Cyber Monday. Honestly, starting October Q4, we're like, okay, what do we want to do? What do we not want to do? What we started hiring our agents already as early as I believe September, which last year we started beginning of September. We started hiring last year, October, which is a little bit too rushed. This also gives our temp agents time to train a little bit more before Black Friday. And it gives them time to be like, okay, like now I'm getting used to these procedures and policies and stuff. But before, obviously, we hired our temp agents, I went, I was speaking to my CX associate and really went over all of our policies, procedures, just like everything, our FAQs, just being like, do we want to keep this? Are we making exceptions for this policy, this? And really just revamped everything to make sure it was clear, concise, and our agents were, fully supported and had all the resources. And so essentially we gave that to our BPO and they gave, first they did a refresher for our current agents, which that's always needed. Once they did that, our agents our core agents feel confident to essentially be like, okay, like, I really feel confident in this. I feel confident going into the season. And I feel confident essentially being like mentors or peers, to these temps, which is like really what we push for at 32 Degrees. I love communication and I love like, I'm always like, I always have every agent be like, if you guys have questions, please reach out to me. I'm open. Even though, like I have team leads and stuff that they can reach out to and other resources, but I want them to feel fully supported. Like this is obviously a time where we, our agents are going to probably like burn out a little bit, and feel like pressure and stuff. And I don't want them to feel that, even though obviously some days they will, but I want them to feel supported. So planning ahead definitely helped with, obviously our agents are our core agents feeling confident. And then now, now our actual temps, they're already hired and everything. They're already have gone through training. So now I feel like it gives them more time to like really be able to be like, all right, now we're, live and it's not super busy right now for us yet. So it gives them time to be like, okay, awesome. I'm practicing and, if I have any questions and stuff, it gives them, time to like ask us, the team leads or the agents and stuff. So that's what this year I feel like has paid off so well because I feel like I'm not overwhelmed. I'm like, this is great. Like I said before, I also like went with my CX associate. We went over all of our policies, procedures, made sure everything was aligned. We also had a session with like our core team, our agents and our BPO. And we're like, who has questions? These are new things that, are coming up with like essentially like maybe our tech stack, like Loop, and these are new features and, work with them and stuff. I think transparency and just anytime we have updates from any of our tools that we use, we share them immediately. Notion is like my favorite thing ever. That is like where essentially we keep everything, like our policies, procedures, any exceptions, how-tos. We have Loom videos. So I feel pretty good this year about that. But we also, just once I feel like the team feels good and we feel good, I think aligning with also just your company, like your other departments, and letting them know like, hey, like this is the season, just a reminder that, you know, we're going to be super busy, and if we need support, who is like that one contact person that we can, you know, go to support for, like if there's something wrong with like the website, like who is someone that I can reach out to and be like, hey, you know, like we want to just be able to give our agents all the resources, and if they're stuck in something, we want to be like, okay, like, you know, let's figure it out together, you know, don't stress out. But yeah, no, I just wanted to kind of like give a little snippet of how I've prepped and how it's worked for me, and I'm confident going into Black Friday or Cyber Monday. And yeah, I would also love any tips or questions or anything like that, because I know this is a time for everyone that everyone's kind of like scrambling.
I was gonna say, Jennifer, like, while questions come in, just curious, because everything tends to come from something, right? Like, did you have PTSD from something that went really rogue the Black Friday before? Do you mind sharing? Like, what was the thing that was like, no, we have to prepare for war, basically?
Yeah, no, definitely. Obviously, sometimes we don't have like there's things that we can't see. You know, we like had a shipping issue last year and it was terrible. It's just like UPS pretty much like just shut down. And it was terrible. And I was like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? And obviously those things we can't pre-plan for, but we can create a structure around, okay, like if something happens to this degree, what are we going to do? You know, and I think the last Q4s that I've been here at 32 degrees have every Q4 has taught me something. Obviously, I'm sure there's things that I'll learn this year that I'll bring with me next year. But I think having like like essentially almost like just a path and almost like an emergency plan, be like, what do we do when this happens? What do we do when this happens? Which we've kind of gone over with our team as well. I think also just like letting our team know, like, hey, like yes, it's a busy season, but you guys are still human. I'm human. It's okay. We all need to like rest and take it easy. At the end of the day, like, you know, what I love to also tell my agents is like be super transparent with the customer. Like at the end of the day, they're gonna appreciate that, which kind of like builds trust with the customer. That has always worked, and I feel like in our favor. It's like, I'm so sorry, there's an issue with your package right now. UPS is saying it's stuck. We're gonna go ahead and reship it for you just due to the inconvenience and obviously the delay. I think empathy and just like listening goes a long way. Obviously, you know, besides everything else.
I was gonna say, it's not just like merchants Black Friday, it's also y'all's. Like, it's also our holidays, like everybody else. So I do think that empathy piece goes a very long way.
Yes,
Um,
definitely.
I think it's resonating because I feel like when I hear like nothing, when there's no questions, I'm like, oh yeah, they said what I was thinking. If
Mhm.
anybody has any last minute questions for Jennifer, a true trooper of audio technical difficulties,
Yes, sorry about that.
no, you were fine. That would be me normally. Please put them in the chat. We have a few more minutes. But Jennifer, before you go, do you want to plug yourself if somebody is like, "Oh, I'd love to commiserate with Jennifer over like the trauma of past Black Friday, Cyber Mondays." But even
Yes.
like ask you a few more questions about how they can get in contact with you.
Yes,
Just
definitely. Yeah, for sure. Reach out to me on LinkedIn. I think I mean I can share my LinkedIn, or I don't know if you guys have shared it, but I can share my LinkedIn.
yeah.
Jennifer Vialba, or you can find me 32 degrees, CX director. But yeah, I'm always happy to have conversations. So I know this is like super busy season for all of us. There's so many different aspects and challenges to it. So happy to chat.